Virtual assistants, right off the back, I want to explain to you what a virtual assistant, what a VA does. Welcome back to the YouTube channel. Today we're going to talk about how we use virtual assistants in our cleaning companies. For those of you who do not know who I am, my name is Cameron Tran. I run a commercial cleaning company and a house cleaning company. Typically, my partner Ron is here with me. He's my also partner slash dad, but you have the pleasure of not having to listen to him today and only listening to me. So you're welcome. Virtual assistants, right off the back, I want to explain to you what a virtual assistant is because I think some people in this space, in the commercial cleaning space, don't even know what a virtual assistant is. So I want to explain to you exactly what they are and how we use them and how to implement them in your company. So a virtual assistant is technically a remote worker. Anybody who works for your company or for a company from a laptop from anywhere in the world. Now they can be local in the US or whatever country you are residing in, but primarily most virtual assistants come from abroad. And the reason for that is then a lot of these other countries like the Philippines, Colombia, Brazil, Pakistan, there's a whole bunch of countries that have a lot of virtual assistants from them. They are cheaper labor. The cost of living is lower in these countries. And so to make good money in this country, they don't need to make as much money as they do here in America. And so you can get cheaper labor than you can in America. You can get really talented people for a lot less than you'd have to pay for somebody in America. What a VA does is help you remove certain tasks or automate certain tasks within your business. It can be done from a computer, then a virtual assistant can do it, which nowadays is a lot of stuff. They've really allowed me and Ron to remove ourselves from some of the day-to-day operations of running a business, a cleaning company, and allowed us to focus on more higher leverage tasks like doing the sales and just making higher level decisions throughout the company rather than being bogged down by the day-to-day operations of things. So how we got into using virtual assistants is a little funny. We took a course a while back that this guy used virtual assistants and you could see it throughout his company. And he kind of allowed you to access his virtual assistants through your company. So that was interesting and kind of exciting to have somebody show you that at first. But then we acquired a house cleaning company who used these virtual assistants and had virtual assistants on the staff. And so we went from being exposed to who they were to acquiring a company to realizing what they are all very fast. And so all of a sudden we had some VAs on the payroll. So I think one of the big questions is what do they actually do? And so I'm going to go through a brief list of what they do and then I'm going to show you how exactly that works. So the actual customer support and inboxing aspect of your business can be super automated through the virtual assistants. Now you can give your virtual assistants access to your email and they can access your email for you and manage all of that. And they also, when it comes to customer support, I'm going to marry this into like actually using the phone because something that I think is really hard for people to step away from is in the beginning is answering the phone for the business, which is kind of scary to let go. The phone ringing is money. It's very important that the thing get answered. And so one of the biggest things that we have our virtual assistants do is go through the emails and manage the phones. So the email is pretty easy, right? You got to give them access to your email and they can sort through everything or just even forward your Gmail to a different account. And then they can send you a message every day with the important emails, et cetera, et cetera. And that one's relatively useful. I find I tend to just be in my email anyways, to be honest. It's not that hard nowadays to read 20 emails at once. And so kind of just, it's not that necessary. But the one that's more important is them answering the phone. And that's without a doubt more important. And I want to break down exactly how we do this because I think it's pretty important. So we use a software called Go High Level. And what Go High Level does is it allows you to create sub-accounts. And in these sub-accounts, you get phone numbers. And you can make these your actual business lines and change your business line to these phone numbers. And when someone dials this number, it rings through the software Go High Level. Now you can if you want to answer the phone through Go High Level, you can get your phone and answer yourself through the Go High Level app. What this allows you to do is to have somebody who's sitting in a different country answer the phone for you. And so it allows you to not have to worry about always answering the phone. Late at night, in the middle of the day, you want to go golfing, you want to do whatever, you can automate your business and you don't have to worry about answering the phone every time someone calls. You do not want to miss that call. And so using Go High Level, getting a phone number through there, using that as your main line, and changing all your public listed numbers to that number and having a virtual assistant answer those is like one of the biggest game changers there is out there. They also, along with our operations manager, handle all the scheduling. They do all the communicating to all the cleaners, to everybody throughout the job. They communicate with the clients and the cleaners. So they book the calls. When they get calls, they book it right through a system called Booking Koala for the house cleaning. Let me step back and break this down for a second. So when we have two sub accounts, one for the commercial cleaning we own and one for the house cleaning company that we own. They answer at both accounts. For the commercial cleaning side of things, the way we use our virtual assistants is that the phone rings through Go High Level. They answer it, and then we have a system set up through a software called Calendly, which is just a digital calendar that's connected to my Google Calendar, which has my availability on it. And they actually give the client the price, they set up a time, they do all of that. They take the credit card payment over the phone, and they book the client. And that is all done with the virtual assistant as they answer the phone. So I'm running ads and they're answering the phone. And every time we get a client, I make money and they handle it all for me. So they handle the scheduling and all of that. The other thing that is very, very particular to commercial cleaning and house cleaning is that we also have a VA who we have call all our clients once a month and just check in to see how the client's doing. Especially in commercial cleaning, clients are really sticky. If you can get in and take good care of your clients, they will last forever. And if they're lasting that long, the reason they last that long is because once they find a good cleaner, they don't want to get rid of them. And if you are doing a bad job, a lot of these big facilities don't want to have to go through the process of getting a new cleaner. And so if you have to really mess up for quite a while before they say, hey, we absolutely need a new cleaner in here. And so if you have somebody contacting them month to month, reaching out and staying ahead of issues, then you can allow you to reduce your churn on your commercial cleaning clients. The same is true in house cleaning, but house cleaning could be a little more finicky because sometimes people just lose a job, and they might love your service, but you lose that client. We still do it on the house cleaning side as well, just to make sure all our customers are remaining happy. And we want to stay ahead of losing them for quality issues, essentially. Another amazing thing they do for us is payroll prep. So we use our clock in, clock out software, and then we have our payroll virtual assistant go in and prep the entire payroll for both companies for us. And then we just approve it and then run it. That's all we do. And so all the front end work is already done for us. And that saves us a million hours of time. Is bookkeeping. We have our virtual assistants do all the bookkeeping for us, which is pretty straightforward and easy. By the way, for doing accounting, we do use QuickBooks. And I would virtually recommend everybody to use QuickBooks, an amazing software. To be honest, we run our payroll through it and we do our accounting through QuickBooks. If there is something repeatable in your business that can be offloaded and just trained onto somebody else, and it's something that you do on a computer, they can do it. That's just a few of the things that they do for us already at this point, and it's quite literally changed our lives and the efficiencies of our business. And so you really need to develop these SOPs or standard operating procedures for these virtual assistants, which you really should have these throughout the business in general. But for the virtual assistants in general, if there's a task that you can offload, create an SOP, document how you do it, make a Loom video if you can. And if you don't know what a Loom video is, it's just like a recording of you and your computer. You can go through a process that you do and you can train somebody on how to do it. If it's repeatable and has an SOP, you can get your virtual assistant to do it and you can offload that work from yourself. If a task repeats twice, virtual assistant owns it, right? The other thing I almost forgot, which is kind of ironic because it's maybe the most important thing our virtual assistants actually do for us, is sales. Now, I did talk about how they take inbound sales on the house cleaning side, but also on the commercial cleaning side, we have outbound dialers. We have virtual assistants that make calls for us every day, all day, and that's how we grow our business. They're our sales force, essentially. Now, I still do a lot of the in-person deals, but eventually we'll have to hire an in-person salesperson as well. That'll be an exciting day, to be honest, because I might never have to leave the damn house. But that is a big thing they do for us, and it's very, very important, and it helps us grow our business. And it's been, quite honestly, it's been phenomenal. Now, when you have these virtual assistants, you need to send something up called the end-of-day report. It's a simple end-of-day report, usually things like what they've done throughout the day. What's the revenue that was generated today? How many sales did we do? How many calls did I make? What task do you want me to done, and where's that task at? It's really nice. It's really good having a high-level overview of your business and what was done that day as well. So you could basically have a day where you sit on the couch and don't do much work at all. And then at the end of the day, you get an EOD report. It just tells you everything that's been done. It's amazing. I think one of the things, like when I think about virtual assistants and like why they're so effective too, I think that it's essentially like building out a corporate level portion of your business without the expense of corporate level positions. Like frankly, like we have a girl that does recruiting for us full time. That would cost me a fortune if I had a full-time recruiter in the USA, but it's much cheaper to have somebody like her who works overseas do this job for me, as well as the bookkeeping and all that kind of stuff. It's amazing how much money it would cost me compared to what I actually do end up spending. And it allows you, the barrier to entry of it is much cheaper because it's more affordable. Okay, why does you getting a virtual assistant actually matter for your business and the growth of your company and the scalability of your company? If you want to actually sell your business one day, You want to be able to step out and not have to work. Even if you don't want to have to sell your company one day, you still want that ability. You still want to be able to disappear for 2 weeks, go to Aruba, come back, and the business is bigger than when you left, right? And so if you want to sell your business, you need to not be working in it. And if you want to love your business, you basically need to not be working in it. And those two things are the options with virtual assistants. They increase the value of your company because it's easier to buy. Buyers buy systems, do not buy jobs. And that is how businesses become assets. So if you're stuck in the daily work, this is the kind of thing that you need to do. And I'll be honest with you, we do run a company called Remote Pros. We are not just cleaners. We do also help people staff these virtual assistants. Our company is called Remote Pros. And if that does interest you, I'll put a link in that below. I hope this information helped. This is a little bit of a shorter video for us this week. Ron is away, so we're just trying to get through the week. But we're producing content every week. We'd love if you stick around, hit that like button, subscribe button. We'd love to be able to create this content for you guys. Thank you and have a good day.